Beastars is an anime series streaming on Netflix now and is adapted from the Japanese manga created by Paru Itagaki. The series is set primarily in a school where anthropomorphic animals attend, and in a blatant Zootopia ripoff, tension begins to rise between herbivores and carnivores when one of the students is found murdered. It's been a while since I've done a Netflix review, so I figured it was probably about time. And yes, everyone is talking about Tiger King. I can basically sum up that review in one word. Awesome. So Beastars popped up in my recommended, and as many of you know, I am not an anime connoisseur by any means. And my latest experience with Netflix and anime didn't turn out too well. But I thought I would give this an honest chance and watch this without any constriction. And I'm really glad I did, because this series is phenomenal. I mean, this is really, really good. I mean, it's totally different than what you think it would be, but nonetheless, it's really good. This is like if Zootopia were developed by, like, HBO or something. I knew this was going to be nothing like Zootopia, but seeing as how that was the most recent form of anthropomorphic animals, it is really the only thing I could compare it to. Not only the idea of the characters being animals, but also the tension and the social commentary between the herbivores and the carnivores. And while many will look at this series and say it's a representation of our times and the tension of today, there are more deeper layers to this. And it actually has to do with the idea of if the animal kingdom were looked at like humans view each other. The main character is a gray wolf named Legoshi, who is battling his inner demons that want him to succumb to his predatory instincts of hunting and killing. And his character is treated like any other adolescent boy coming to terms with themselves. He's confused about all these feelings he's going through and doesn't know how to express them without coming off as awkward. Which, I mean, we can all relate to that, right? You also add in the peer pressure from the leader of the drama club that Legoshi attends, who wants him to embrace that predatory instinct and use it in the play that they are getting ready to put on. I think you can definitely see the parallels between this and what it's like to be an adolescent maturing and coming into their own, while balancing themselves, bullies, and peer pressure. The thing I found most interesting about this was that the herbivores were the assholes in this. I mean, they were straight up dicks. They're constantly tormenting and provoking the carnivores, wanting them to lash out at the herbivores. But at the same time, the herbivores are turning on each other. I mean, they're just dicks in this. The character of Haru is a white rabbit, and she eventually becomes Legoshi's love interest. And her character is treated kind of... what's the word I'm looking for? She's promiscuous, but she is constantly belittled, especially in those first couple episodes, and it is mostly done by the herbivores. There's a scene early on where Legoshi, who is the spotlight operator for the play, is talking with another student, and the student tells him that every member of the drama club was handpicked because they all have a dark side or something in their past they're trying to conceal. And in a turn of events, it's revealed that Louis the Beastar, which is like the class president or whatever, it's like the highest honor that somebody can get. But Louis is the head of the drama club, and you find out that he was raised illegally with other herbivores as potential food for carnivores. So Louis' ruthlessness stems from where he was born and that exposure of if you're not a predator, then you're prey. But I love how this show twists the perception of what is innocent and what is ruthless. And you may look at somebody and think that they may be a certain way, but they actually end up taking on the traits of the other. I think it's a great way to address the issues today of calling out other people's issues while secretly hoping no one discovers ours. This probably had some of the most developed characters I've seen all year. I've never read the manga, but I'm sure it's very developed. But I really enjoyed every character and every character's journey in this. Each character has a definitive purpose and understanding. The creators actually took the time to make sure every character was developed and their arguments for why they are a certain way. It'd be too easy to say, okay, this character's a dick because he comes from a rich family and he's just a rich, spoiled brat. but they actually took time to develop that character and validate his arguments to where you look at him and you say, he actually has every right to be a dick. I see where he's coming from. You may not agree with each character's means of dealing with these character flaws, but there is definitely understanding. And when there's understanding, the road to redemption and self-worth makes it that much more fulfilling. The series also had just some great little side stories too that were just so fascinating to watch. The series actually had some great little side stories too that were just so fascinating to watch. I didn't think the series would have so many layers. There's a segment where an actor in the play who is a carnivore dopes up to enhance his performance. And the doping is actually rabbit's blood. And this infuriates Legoshi for a number of reasons. And they have this great conversation on stage about acceptance and courage. That was an amazing scene to watch. It was probably my favorite scene in the whole series. That's not to say there's not some fucked up stuff in this as well. In one of the openings, there's a chicken who sells her eggs to the cafeteria, and she takes great pride in her eggs and wants to make sure everybody thinks they're delicious. It's fucked up. Also, how the carnivores survive, essentially, is kind of interesting. They eat eggs for the most part, and there are bird species in this who interact with the main characters that are eating egg sandwiches, and you're just kind of like, you know, I would kind of be a little disgusted by that. The black market is legal, I think, and that's where carnivores can kind of go to indulge in their predatory instincts, which that actually introduces another great character, the panda. That was probably my favorite character in the whole series. And how they get their meat is kind of fucked up. I don't want to go any spoilers, but I didn't see any hospitals in this. If you're a fan of the more action-oriented, fast-paced anime, you might be disappointed by this. This is a drama, a character drama, about adulthood, love, coming to terms with your inner instincts, the journey of how others might see you, and how you see yourself, and understanding those differences and when to compromise without affecting your integrity. This show was pretty fucking deep for being a Zootopia ripoff. Nonetheless, Beastars is an amazing, amazing show that definitely needs to be checked out. Fucking deep for a Zootopia ripoff. But I'm going to give Beastars 5 stars. You guys, this is an amazing show. You definitely need to watch it. You could probably make an hour-long video about all the little side stories and the character development, and this is just a great, great show. I'm so glad I watched it. You guys, thank you so much for watching. For more reviews, be sure to hit that subscribe button and the bell icon. And as always, I will see you in the next episode.